Guys, this chat is lit already. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Own the Chaos Investing. I don't even know what to say. To all that. But hope you guys are doing great. Lots of stuff to talk about today. One of the biggest ones, though, is going to be the Apple iPhone news. The release date is for the 13th. We're going to talk about that, or the event, I should say, is also on that day. And we're going to talk about that. I'm sure we'll probably be going live for that event. We're going to just get into why we think it might impact the stock or why it might not. And also getting into the stock market, we saw some things starting to come back since Thursday, Friday, things looked kind of grim. The president was at Walter Reed. He was trying to recover from the Rona, comes back out. To no surprise to us, right, as of Stockwatch Sunday, we kind of figured this would happen. Now he is feeling better than he has in the last 20 years, supposedly. So, with that being said, if you guys are joining us for the first time, welcome. Hopefully we earn a subscription from you. And if you're interested in hanging out with us in the chats, make sure you hit the join button next to subscribe, become part of the Chaos Crew, help support the channel. Fat Man Zoom, what's going on, my man?
What's up? Man, nothing's going on. I lost yesterday in fantasy football, and I had the second highest score in the league, which just hurts. It hurts. It hurts my heart. But otherwise, I'm just hanging out, ready to watch this Palantir keep running. Ain't that right, Justin? Ain't that right?
Yeah. Palantir.
Amar, what's up? What's up, Amar? This isn't a new cam. I feel like I've had the camera. I mean, it's like 2 weeks old. I feel like you've seen me since then. You know what? It's the stream.
Yeah.
Better for whatever reason.
I think so too. But yeah, man, it's just been, I don't know. It's been kind of boring in the market. We had this huge gap up on Monday because everybody was, hopping on the news about the president. And it's just kind of been pretty sideways all week. I just don't know what to make of it.
It has. And honestly, I thought the Apple news would make it move a little bit. Some things were moving. But yeah, it's all right. I mean, my one account just went green, which was nice, green for the day. My other account is about performing with the market. But I thought Apple was going to go. Although what's nice is the 13th, when it's expected that it's going to be the phone launch, that's when Amazon Prime Day starts as well. So I feel like things are going to be building for next week, and we'll get into that more, but I'm excited for next week, man. Palantir's up 12%. Nvidia is still moving, man. That sucker's still going.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some things in tech really starting to move. Actually, NASDAQ was down earlier today, and everything has just turned positive as of the start of this live stream. Coincidence? I don't think not. Probably not. But yeah, Nvidia has just been taking off like a monster. This is another one that we put out in the Chaos Crew as well. Blade Runner is cracking me up with the setup jokes. But speaking of setup, we've actually been looking, and we'll let you guys know when we decide what we're going to do with a full-blown studio. We're looking to build that as well, and did some shopping around yesterday, so that was super exciting. So be on the lookout for that. And we will get into some of your questions as well. I see saying asking about Rocket. We will talk about Rocket as well later in the show. But so yeah, just checking in on go live anyway. Okay.
Fucking YouTube. God damn it,
YouTube. Are we back? We're back.
Yeah, don't put that on me, Justin R. That ain't on me. I have no control over what this stream does with YouTube. But it's not it does look like a broccoli next to my Zoom. That was supposed to be a smoke cloud, but I need to remove
It's not
right.
really working.
Fat Man Zoom broccoli.
Yeah. Damn it. Technology is great when it's working. Sucks when it's not. So sorry about that, guys. But anyways, to get back to the my portfolio, as far as Weeble's concerned, This is a public portfolio, and if you guys want to see this every day, any changes that I make, trades, that sort of thing, become part of the Chaos Crew. Hit the join button next to subscribe. Everybody who's in this chat that's in the Chaos Crew right now will tell you that the money that we charge for this is pretty ridiculous. Charge $5 a month just to be part of the Chaos Crew. Another $5 if you want to see the portfolio. And I don't know, guys. You tell everybody else who's watching. Do you get value out of this? Does it pay for itself? All that good stuff. Let us know in the chat. But looking at some of the stuff in here in this portfolio, ended up adding to Penn National yesterday and today. Zoom's still hanging out in there. Rocket's still hanging out, and talked about this on Sunday that I don't plan on selling Rocket for a while. JetBlue is also looking really great. The airlines are actually looking wonderful on really kind of pressure on Congress. We got the president putting pressure on Congress. We have the Feds now putting pressure on Congress to get a stimulus deal through. And really the Fed came out and said, don't be afraid to put too much money into stimulus. Just keep doing it. So good old Jerome Powell is just trying to just print money. It's just making it rain everywhere. So airlines then are also responding because of that. Apple, I'm a little bit flat on, and Tesla is just hanging out there as well. So those are the stuff I am in. How's your portfolio been doing this week?
My portfolio has been doing well. Man, I'm ready to crack that 40K. I was above it. I think it was like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, been clawing back, and it's just primed, Brad. Primed. But so I'm still in Palantir. That did well for me today. I actually just went green on it.
Hell yeah.
We went live.
That's awesome.
So I just went green on that. I'm staying in that. Everything's green. Zoom, I'm about to go back green, and I go in and out of Zoom. I'm about to go back green in it. I'm full position size. Rite Aid looks really good. I'm up 6% on that, but I'm green on everything else except for Penn, which I've been in and out. I get in and out of as well, but I added to Penn yesterday. I'm about a half position size in that. Everything else is green. Looks good. I know you're in Domino's as well. We've been hyping up Domino's. We're excited about Domino's leading into their earnings.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that in a sec. But just to kind of touch on Penn real quick, it's been really predictable. When negative news comes out about sports and the Rona, it goes down. People stop caring as much and then just buy up the dip. So that's kind of what we've been doing over the last several weeks, and it seems to have been working pretty well. Penn being one of my biggest winners overall in this account, and I'm just going to keep doing it until it doesn't work anymore. And that's usually how things go. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So I'm not even going to worry about fixing it until it's broke. And
I did sell out of, I might regret this, but I sold out of Peloton, took profits on that. And then got Zoom, added to Zoom and added to Apple. And then there's a lot of articles right now, a lot of people bullish on Peloton, which I could get back in. It had swings, but I meant to say that I did sell something today.
Yeah, and what a monster this was. I mean, this is something that we actually brought into the crew as well back in the summertime. And back then I said it was going to hit $100 a share, and it just blew right past that. So that one feels really good to be knocking that one out of the park. And if it keeps going, who cares? I think that's one of the biggest key takeaways to taking profit is that people just always have this fear of missing out on making more money. And so just being happy with the money that you made, going off and making some more on some things that have been beaten down just makes all the sense in the world when you think about it logically. So nice job on that, my man. As far as how much money I've made today, somewhere between $70 and $68 is how much I made today. If you can,
what percentage is that?
It's somewhere between 7 and 6%.
Really? Damn.
No, do the math, my man. I made somewhere between $70 and $68. I already see the 69 jokes rolling, so that's where I was headed, but just wait.
It's sitting at 69. That was good. We will all buy in solidarity. I'm not doing any of those jokes today. I'm going to bring some new material. May come back to it, but everybody feel free to continue to do that. But a lot of people are shouting out our watch list calls and Mercado Libre, which we talked about on Stock Watch Sunday as well.
Yep.
But Mercado Libre did really well. Our watch list as a whole, and for those of you who are watching who are not familiar with it, Brad mentioned that if you're part of the Chaos crew, you get a daily watch list where it's 5 stocks that Brad's watching every day. The market's open Monday through Friday. So Mercado Libre was on Stock Watch Sunday. It was also, I believe we put it on yesterday's watch list as well, but today, not too bad. Peloton was on the watch list. Rocket, Big C, Penn, and Domino's. And so Big C was actually one I put on there. I actually put it on our October watch list. And it opened down 2%. It was up as high as 12% yesterday. I thought it was going to pull back, but I was waiting to see continuation. So like I was hoping it was a pullback to continue. And it looks like it's clawing back. It's only down like 0.5%. So I am still befuddled as to what the move was for. There was no real catalyst. But I was searching high and low, couldn't find any news on what's going on with the stock. But we've been big fans anyway, so I'll take it. I'll take it to the bank.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great call out from the top stocks for October. And really, from a technical standpoint, it looks like it has closed the gap, and that's why it's starting to move back up. So it's following technicals really, really well. And that's really good to see. So huge move. Who knows? Maybe some Robin Hooders got into this thing and it just took off. We've seen that sort of thing happen before, but either way, we'll take the credit for it. Moving on to the main topic of the day, and that is Apple. Apple's, has this event coming out. They officially announced its highly anticipated iPhone 12 event for October 13th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And it's going to be similar to the Time Flies event. If you guys were live with us during that time, it was pretty interesting stuff as far as their watch is concerned. And so they're having essentially a separate event for their iPhone 12. It's all going to be done virtually. Again, October 13th, 10 a.m. Pacific time. That will be 1 p.m. Eastern time here for us. But this is going to be pretty highly anticipated. Be curious to see how this all shakes out, Christian, because the last time the stock ran all the way up into the event and it had a pretty rough sell-off. But then again, it was in the middle of September. Everything was kind of just crap in the whole month of September. So I'm curious to see how this will actually react this time around as we go into the October month.
Yeah, and I think it's important to point out, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they've said it is going to be the phone. Everybody expects it to be the phone. When they had their event in September, they said it won't be phone September, likely a few weeks delayed. So it's all lining up.
Yeah.
It's still not technically official, but it's going to be, it's looking like it's the 5G phone, which we've all been expecting. Is that right? Like they didn't actually say we're announcing phones. It's just an event.
No, it's iPhone 12 event.
Oh, they did do that?
Yep.
Okay. Because every article I read actually never outright said it by Apple. Other people said that. So,
okay.
Okay. Just wanted to confirm that because I did not see that. So with that being said, it's an iPhone event.
Yeah.
However, I think there'll be a run up like anything else, but the interesting thing is that we've known about this. This isn't like a surprise.
Yeah.
Like we even know what the phone is. Like the phone's most likely going to be a 5G phone. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, has the news been made? Has the move been made off of the news that's been around for months? And so that's where I'm struggling to sort of parse through this thing.
Yeah.
Because the split happened, and then all these other things have happened, the watch, the new iPads. And so it's like, okay, what's new? Like what's new that's happening? So I think there'll be a move. That's why I bought some more today leading up to it. I don't think there'll be a massive move after it. Again, it's the same thing we always say, unless they come out with something new that we're not expecting, which I doubt they will.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a move. What will be the move is Um, the other exciting thing that nobody really talks about that I want to talk about here at On the Chaos. So one thing is their merchant, I don't know if merchant services
Yeah.
or like their Apple Pay, their Apple Card.
Right.
I am so excited about this Apple Card and nobody's talking about it. I don't understand why. I believe that in 2021, it's going to be one of the top 3 cards like
Really?
for new people. Yeah, it's just so easy the way they set it up. Like I think it's going to make a big splash. Now, I don't know why I came up with top 3. I just threw that random thing out there. But like, you know, when you Google search like cards, like with the best rewards, you'll usually see Southwest card up there. Usually American Express for business, but Southwest card is the one kind of you see all over the place. I think Apple ends up in that mix. They made it so easy. Everybody already has an iPhone.
Yeah.
It's pretty sexy. They have a cult following. All the things point to this thing kicking ass. And also, I love the rewards program. It tracks right in your phone real time and it deposits. Apparently, if I'm not mistaken, it's like the next day. So it's a flat percentage cash back. You know, you get more points if you spend in the Apple Store. All that stuff's great. I'll shut up, but I'm excited about that going into, you know, for the future.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll hear about it this time around. I think if there's anything else on top of the iPhone 12 that we'll actually hear about, it'll probably be somewhere along the lines of the Apple's AirPods over ear, the over ear AirPods. We'll probably see something about the Apple TV and the Siri remote. I think that's probably 2 or 3 key items that we'll probably see on top of the iPhone 12, but obviously iPhone 12 is going to have all of the focus there. But the Apple TV, I think, is something that they're really going to have to try to ramp up even more. There's just so much competition. I'm curious to see if they're actually going to be able to pull this off from a sustainability standpoint as far as the Apple TV is concerned, and really their Apple streaming service altogether. We have Amazon Prime, which in my opinion is okay. It's not great. And then obviously Netflix is sitting on the top of the hill and probably will for the foreseeable future. But you have all these other streaming services. And so I understand Apple's need to want to keep up with all of that. I just don't know why if I was Apple, I would focus so much energy on that when I have other products, especially from the service side, to deal with. And really, you know, they already took care of the watch stuff. I don't know. I just don't know why they would focus so much time and energy on the TV.
Yeah, I'm not sure they will. I think they just have sort of a lot of irons in the fire on this one.
Yeah.
And so it's like investors want you to see cash. If you're sitting on a bunch of cash, see you using cash. And I think they just see whichever one hits and move forward. And we'll see, like, these events are great for hardware, but when you're thinking as an investor, what really matters is these other items that hit the balance sheet and hit the financials. So in addition to things like the Apple Card, you're not going to hear an announcement about the Apple Card, but you will in earnings hear the margins and the increase to bottom line. An iPad isn't great for the bottom line.
Right.
Merchant fees are incredible for the bottom line. And as that grows, that helps out because the more their products are diminishing return. So like as time goes on, like a flat screen TV used to be $3,000. Now you can get the same TV for $500. That's the game with hardware.
Right.
Whereas when you look at companies like Visa, their margins are ridiculous. Their net income is ridiculous.
Oh, they're
so
insane.
One thing I wanted to bring to the table is I pulled up this article from Motley Fool, and it was talking about the App Store dominance and the revenue in downloads compared to Google Play. And so Google Play has over 3 times the amount of downloads, but App Store does double the revenue. App Store does 19 billion, in Q3 revenue, did 19 billion. Google Play did 10 billion.
Wow.
And off of 8 billion downloads for Apple in Q3 and 28 billion downloads for Google Play. And that was in line with the previous year. So that's it. The revenue they bring in is incredible. And stuff like the App Store and Apple Card, Apple Pay, all that stuff is high margin stuff. That's what we need to hear about.
Those are some crazy numbers from the margin standpoint. It's unbelievable just how much more money they're making essentially per transaction than Google is. And Google is smashing them when it comes to downloads. It's crazy to think like that. That blows my mind.
Yeah, and Marcel's asking, is Apple still a buy at 115? If you want to talk about supports and resistances, I said at the beginning of this, I actually bought Apple today. So for me, it was a buy.
Yeah. I think Apple's a buy as well. I think at the end of the day, bottom line is that we see Apple probably run up into this event. More importantly, we also have the holidays coming up as well. And historically, we see Apple run and move up in this thing. So is it a buy? First of all, we always say it's a buy, but in this particular case, if you're looking for the short term, we say yes. Look for this to move up above 115, and I think it does make a really nice move. So be on the lookout for that. Apple's a buy, always is, but in this particular case, especially, hope you guys feel the same way. Let us know in the comments down below if you feel differently. All right, what else we got, my man?
So, I mean, we just have our crew questions.
So what you guys got?
We have a lot.
Hit us up.
All right. So, Chaos Crew, for those members that are in the chat, we got how many people we got? 230?
230.
Somebody asked about
The YouTube notifications have sucked today.
What's that?
YouTube notifications have sucked today. I think we're a little low on numbers.
Yeah, I think there was an issue with notifications, and somebody said sell Google. Maybe we've had issues with these notifications. So there was a question about ETFs. Do we talk about them? We don't really talk about them in the channel. RK, that has been on a watch list, but outside of that, our philosophies on ETFs are really like, or Sail, for example. Somebody mentioned that Sail went off today. All the cruise liners went off with airliners, even though we're really hesitant about cruise liners in general.
Yep.
That's going to move big time off the news. But the thought is, well, ETFs are great if you just want to set it and forget it. But if you're an active investor, ETFs, you're taking the good stocks and you're taking the laggards. So like, well, why take Sail if you can get Carnival Cruise Lines, unless you want to hedge your bets? So that's kind of our philosophy, is like, we want to be active investors. And so find the best one in the sector and do that. But I'm not against ETFs at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not either. I just prefer the volatility that individual stocks bring versus an ETF. And that's Christian's point, is that, what does it say? ETFs are the missionary of stocks, still good, but not that exciting. Yeah, so it's oh, Shane, you're awesome, man. So yeah, I mean, I would agree. I'm not a big fan of ETFs for that reason. I just think there's higher potential, obviously higher risk, but I think there's higher potential for profit, especially if you know what you're doing. Then why even bother with ETFs? The other thing too, like if you're getting the leverage ETFs, a huge amount of risk as far as that's concerned. Everybody thinks that they can just buy into some leverage ETFs, and they don't even take into consideration the decay that goes along with that, all kinds of other stuff. So, yeah, kind of some of the reasons why we end up staying away from them.
Primetime DJs, nice to see Rad break $10 today. It was nice. I actually mentioned it to Brad offline, not to be confused with ticker RAD, Brad. BRAD ticker. 10 is that key, man. If we can clear 10, and it's just below it right now, yep. But if we can clear that, I feel good about that. But it was really nice to see it. Still good long term. Fosrana asks, boys, what do you think about Cheesecake Factory?
Cheesecake Factory, that's going to be a no for me. Anything in hospitality right now, it's still just been so beaten down. I mean, you could make the argument that if we get a stimulus, then all of the hospitality and kind of recovery type stocks should move. But Cheesecake Factory doesn't even have that great of financials either. So I would be very hesitant to be putting any money towards Cheesecake Factory. I think there's plenty of better things you can put your money into.
Steve King, I'm a supervisor at Waste Connections, WCN. My guys keep bugging me to ask you if there's a stock that is a buy. What's up, my people at WCN?
Hey, shout out.
Buy.
Shout out. So the stock to buy? Oh, man. I mean, Penn National has been beaten down really a lot. And, well, I wouldn't say a lot, but it's gotten down below 70 today. And honestly, there's still a lot of pent up demand, pent up energy that people just need to expend. People haven't been really going out and traveling and doing all the things that they normally do. And, sports are finally back for the most part. We're still not back to normal, but they're back. And the other thing is that we just talked about this in the mentorship this morning, but Penn National doesn't spend the kind of money that DraftKings does on senseless things. And DraftKings is starting to adopt this mentality of grow at all costs, meaning that, they're going to put money into all kinds of marketing, and whether it works or not, we're just going to throw spaghetti at a wall and see what sticks. And we've seen this, right? We've seen this with the Michael Jordan stuff. We've seen this with a lot of other things. And what's going to happen, I think, is we're going to see DraftKings try to grow so fast that they can't really handle it, and they're going to get bought out by somebody, whether it's FanDuel or whomever. And Penn National is going to be the one that sits atop all of them. And the reason that being is, the Barstool crowd is going to really kind of take over, but they're doing everything the right way when it comes to spending money. They're not putting, precious dollars, especially since their recent offering, towards stuff that just doesn't make sense. I can't stand the grow at all costs strategy, and it just completely drives me crazy. And now that I see that DraftKings is basically going in that direction, I just can't get down with that.
Yeah. You know what to tell them. Come on, Steve. You know the answer to this.
Yeah.
Depends. Rocket. Tell them about Rocket. Obviously depends on their horizon. But I'll give you a good one, Steve. Buy WCN. I'd imagine they have some sort of company stock purchase plan. It's a pretty good stock. It seems pretty good. And if you're going to get it on discount, buy it up. So start with your company and then move on from there. You may not like that answer, but it's the right answer.
There is something to be said for that. When I used to work for T. Rowe Price, I used to buy as much stock as I could from T. Rowe. And it was nice. You could just, every check, you'd get to see how much your position had gone up. So, yeah, something to be said for that. Costco's the same way. They have an employee stock program. So,
yeah, there's a lot. I think Under Armour's is like 25% discount or something crazy.
Wow.
Whereas, like, man, scoop them up. Steve King said he'd get it free. Hell yeah.
Damn.
Well, you're the big boss. All right. Somebody was asking about talking about earnings for Domino's and how to play earnings for tomorrow. So Wayne Atkinson, how to play Domino's earnings tomorrow. Domino's is after hours.
Is it tomorrow or Thursday? Maybe it's
Thursday, I believe.
Yeah,
I'll pull it up while you're talking.
I was going to say, I thought it was Thursday. So as far as Domino's is concerned, we talked about this on Stockwatch Sunday. Domino's is going to be one that I definitely think is going to absolutely crush earnings. But we've seen
it's pre-market on Thursday.
That's what I thought. Pre-market on Thursday is when Domino's earnings are will be released. And we've talked about how they absolutely crush earnings, but historically, when they do crush earnings, there's a pretty big sell-off. And I'm curious to see if the same thing's going to happen this time around. And I don't know if it'll happen. I don't think it'll be dramatic. But as you guys can see here on the daily chart, I have a really nice looking rising wedge here. And this thing is bullish as ever. So one of two things are going to happen. Either earnings are going to do well and the market's going to respond well, or we're going to see how this has run up over the last several weeks in anticipation of earnings beat, and it's going to sell off because people now are going to be taking profit from running this thing up. If we see a breakout over 435, I think that DPZ is going to go absolutely insane. If we see this break down and sell off after earnings, then I would look to try to potentially buy this up around $400 a share, because I think we'll see a really nice move from that point. So those are the two scenarios on how I would handle earnings. I would be very hesitant to hold this unless you've been into this for a while. Like if you've been sitting in Domino's well into the 300s to mid 300s or so, I wouldn't say that you'd have any reason to sell. If you've just bought this, then I would say be very careful. So, I mean, those are the two scenarios that I would kind of run through your head, see what ends up being the best risk reward for you, and kind of go from there.
Primetime says Peloton keeps flexing. A couple people are asking about Peloton. Is it moving? I feel like it's kind of still where it's been all day.
It was at 113 last I looked. It's up to 2.5%. Yeah, 113.50. So all-time highs.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's been great. It seems like it's kind of been around that 113. So we'll see where it goes. But we love Peloton. If you're in the crew, probably everybody has Peloton. Amar, Fastly will go to 110, or will Fastly go to 110, or should he take profit now?
Well, I always tell people that taking profit is never a bad thing. It looks like we could potentially see a decent flag here on Fastly, but getting it to 110 may be a little bit of a feat. Every time we see a huge run on Fastly like this, it always pulls back. So if this breaks down below, I mean, god damn, look at that 30-minute chart. That's a bull flag pattern if I've ever seen one. I think it could break out very easily. But we've seen this over the last several days. Look at this. It spikes up from 91 all the way up to 99, pulls all the way back down to 91 again, and then runs all the way back up the next day, 2 days later at 99. Tries to test that 100 mark yet again. Friday, gap down all the way down to $94 a share, then ran all the way up to 103, 102, and then pulled back down yet again yesterday. Came all the way back down to $95 a share. So then this moves up, and then today we're seeing this back up to 102. It looks like a really nice looking bull flag pattern on a 30-minute chart. So there's a really good chance that we could see this if it breaks out of this bull flag pattern. But given what we've seen over the last week or two, I would imagine that we're probably going to see this thing sell off again. And, it's just super volatile. So be careful with it. But yes, it could get to 110, but expect a pretty decent sell off at some point, if not today.
Yeah. Who said something? Yeah. Primetime. I know you're from New York. Hey, I don't eat Domino's. I mean, Domino's isn't bad, but even though there's better pizzas out there. The stock is great.
The company's crushing.
I like to separate myself from the stock and the food. Eric Scarl, there's a rogue asteroid coming. Should I still buy Apple?
Yes.
Yes. Do ETFs have earnings reports? That's a good question. Do ETFs have earnings reports?
No, I don't think so.
But they do.
They have like rebalancing and that sort of thing, but
okay, got it. What do you think about, somebody's asking about Teladoc, Aboods95. What do you guys think of Teladoc? We're big fans of Teladoc.
Yes. We saw this make a huge move after the president went into Walter Reed. And you can see that this is the kind of move it made when it went from around 210 all the way up to 227, sitting at 223 right now. I think that this probably ends up doing well, but it's going to be long term. It's going to be more volatile. I think that people are going to get the wrong impression when we start to see positive news when it comes to the Rona and seeing a vaccine and that sort of thing, and think that, oh, well, Teladoc's not going to become relevant anymore, and they couldn't be more wrong. So that's the kind of sell-off I'm looking for on Teladoc. And that's when I would look to try to buy it. So if you're looking for it long term and you want to scale in now, okay, fine. But I think that we're primed to probably see a pretty big sell off when and if we see vaccine news relatively soon.
Nice. Just want to shout out SoundCloud. Thanks for the $5 donation. Appreciate you. Hey, Brad and Fat Man Zoom. How do you guys feel about Devon Energy? So I'll let Brad answer this in a second. Sexton. In a second. But just to make you aware, I am trying to do some research. I know everybody wants to know about lithium. I know everybody wants to know about energy, all that other stuff. That's going to be one of the topics coming up in the future. But nickel, lithium, stocks we recommend. We'll be talking about that more in depth. So I personally can't give feedback on it. But Brad, do you have anything, or should we just get back to them?
Yeah, we'll get back to them, and we might make that Thursday's topic. So if you guys are new and haven't seen us before, and want to come back, we go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and then also 7:30 Eastern time for Stock Watch Sunday. And maybe that'll be a topic for Thursday that we go over, because we are getting an overwhelming response when it comes to the lithium stocks, and it's really tough to navigate because there are so many of them that are just absolute shit. So we'll definitely be doing some more research on that and kind of get back to you guys on Thursday. So stay tuned for that.
Maybe Thursday.
Okay. Maybe Thursday.
I definitely have it for us to address, at least on the live Q&A.
Yeah.
My only concern, being transparent with everybody, is just time for us to do proper research and due diligence. But if we can, absolutely.
Yeah.
So do you want to still pull up the chart for Devon Energy? The ticker symbol is DVN.
Yep. Already got it. Sitting at 10.16 a share. I can't get behind anything that's oil related. I just can't. And I mean, the demand for oil was already coming down before the Rona hit and the stock market crashed, and demand for oil then just went straight through the shitter. And we saw futures even go into the negatives on oil. Not saying that would happen again, but oil is not going to come back in any kind of shape or form like it used to, even before all of this happened. I firmly stand by that. With the electric vehicle kind of getting going here, as far as the level of just excitement and awareness, and just really the remote work thing. When people are working more from home, they're not commuting as much. You're not going to see that kind of demand for oil again. I firmly stand behind that. So I would stay away from anything oil related.
Yeah, absolutely. Smash that like button. I couldn't agree more on that one.
Hit it.
So the other thing as well, just so you guys are aware, solar's the other thing. Don Fran from Don Fran Show wants to do some stuff on that. So look out for that as well. Just want to keep you guys looped in. A lot of people are asking about PLL. It freaking went off today. It was on fire. But I don't know if you want to speak on that, but that's another one that's in the mix as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that I anticipate that there's going to be a huge drop off here. And I think PLL, this is the one that actually got into with Tesla, right? They're working together now. Yeah. Yep. So I think this could definitely have an ability to move up, but just also be aware that this company was not in good shape before Tesla came around. And so I would anticipate that there's probably going to be an offering coming up sooner rather than later. So just be careful with that, because if an offering shows up, it's not going to be good for the investor. Probably see a really decent sell-off on that. So just be careful. Not saying that you shouldn't own it or that it can't go higher, but just know the risk involved with buying it all the way up here. But yeah, what a move.
People are asking about the difference, or what PDDFT, or sorry, PDDTF.
I have no idea. PDDTF? Oh, just another lithium one. See, this is my point. We'll get to it, guys. We'll get to all the lithium ones
okay,
very soon.
Is this an OTC?
It's a foreign stock. I think it's Canadian.
Got it. Shane Haley, timely. Hey, Brad, are you done with the pre-recorded videos?
We're considering figuring out how we're going to incorporate them into our regular schedule, but no, we're not completely done with them. We're just trying to figure out. It's a process, man. Every day we're trying new things and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't. But yeah, they'll be back.
Norberto Medina, you guys rock. How do you feel about Moderno? Thanks, Norberto.
Thank you. Appreciate the kind words. Moderna, though, I have no kind words for. It's hardly moved at all, really. And we'll see spikes once we get, positive vaccine news. But ever since Moderna's executives really kind of raked everybody over the coals while putting out PRs and then selling right into them, I've just never had a good taste in my mouth for Moderna. There's plenty of other good ones. Look at Pfizer. Look at AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, one of those other ones. Stay away from Moderna. Do yourself a favor.
Isaac Escobedo asks, is Pinterest still a buy?
Pinterest is still a buy. I actually sold out of it just because I was trying to free up some cash to buy other stuff. But yes, I still think Pinterest is a buy. Look for it to maybe settle out around 42.70. Really like it there. If we can see a bounce from there, I think that you'll be in good shape on Pinterest.
Bonnie Large is out here playing security, hating on people who are hitting the dislike. We appreciate that. Keep them on their toes.
That's right.
She asks CDLX, any opinions on the stock?
CDLX, I don't know about this one a whole lot. Let me take a look. Cardalytics. I mean, I have heard of it. I just don't know enough about the company to really have an opinion. Looking at this on the chart, though, if we go and look at it on a 30-minute, I would say look for a break to get up above 76.50 for a nice continuation, but it's on a really nice trend right now. No reason to think that this doesn't continue to go higher until we see a breakout of this trend.
Interesting. Okay. What's Mark Sifford asked, what's the deal on HYLD?
HYLD. I don't know. HYLD is a high yield ETF, and it looks ugly as hell. I don't like this chart at all. Not something that I would engage in.
Okay, next question is Jeff Chow, thoughts on recent IPOs of Asana, Frog, buy points. Asana and Palantir finally made a move today. I know we talked about Palantir, but Asana is one we've talked about recently as well.
Yep.
Thoughts on those as far as entry points?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that when we talked about entry points, we talked about this last week about Asana finally looking like it was getting to a bottom. So if you wanted to buy Asana, it would have been last week or even yesterday. We talked about how these IPOs work, where there's this huge run up and then there's a sell off and then it settles out somewhere. Asana started to do that. I think that it may give you another opportunity if it somehow comes back down below 20 to or even below 25, 24.70. It seems to be where the absolute low was on this. But man, I'd hate to say that you missed your boat or you missed the boat, but I would say just give it a minute. I wouldn't chase this and give into the FOMO.
Nice. Ooh, you guys trying to fire me up about Rocket again. Be careful. About to push that timeout button. It's like double trouble. Not only are you asking me, you get me fired up about Rocket, but you're asking the question multiple times. That fires me up too. Ooh, I'm coming back to you. Sang her, I'm coming back. All right, Wang Jiang. What do you think about Zora, which is ZUO? Zuora. Actually, go ahead.
Is that it? Is that the right one?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the company.
So this looks interesting. It's a cloud-based software company, and it provides subscription billing, commerce, and finance platforms. I like all of that. So it's a recurring billing platform designed for subscription businesses of all sizes of any industry. This is nice.
Yeah,
what it does is really interesting.
Looks like from the chart, it seems to have made a really nice base around $10.15, $10.12. So you're looking for something nice and cheap that has a little bit of organization to it. Yeah, I like it a lot. Right here seems to be a level that's probably a decent buy.
Thanks, Wang. I'm actually going to add this to the stocks to research a little bit more. This is so far pretty interesting. Okay, cool. Eric Scarl, today is his 5-month anniversary.
Let's go.
Red Bear.
Let's go.
Nice. Thanks for making a trader out of me, not just a lucky fool and his money. Ain't that the truth?
Hell yeah.
Huang, that wasn't at you the 2 times. Sang her. I got beef. Listen, the question is, what is your opinion on why Rocket continues to bleed daily? This is why I got beef with you.
What are you talking about?
Not just you. I got beef with everybody. Stocks go up and down. They move up and down. Can you please tell? So
this isn't Davy Day Trader Global.
1%? What?
This isn't Davy Day Trader Global. No, the whole mantra of stocks only go up is bullshit. But it's only down 1% today.
Yeah. So listen, if the market's been down all day and the stocks are down, it's going to happen. So if it was down 10% or 20%, come to me. But it's going to have some days. I don't think it's been I'm not worried about it at all. If anything, we saw, I put this in the watch list. We saw the pop we were waiting for. Unfortunately, last week, the next day, the timing with the coronavirus in football and with the president, it was just bad timing, and everything took a shit.
Yeah.
So that was really promising. And if anything, I feel like that's another opportunity for the move. So the move is coming. You just got to be patient. If you want to day trade it, it's not, like that's just going to be gambling, but hold on to this thing. You'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, it's held up remarkably well since its run up from the realtor.com news. I mean, it ran up from $20 a share all the way up to around 23.5 and has kind of settled out in this channel now between 21.30 and 22.88. So I got no problem with where it's sitting right now.
And sorry, Sang, I didn't mean to go off on you. This has been built up. I needed to get it out. I got nothing but love for you. But chill the fuck out. Oh, am I allowed to say fuck? My bad.
Yeah, we can say fuck. It doesn't matter.
Is pen green?
Pen is green.
Nice. Thanks, Dawson. Appreciate you shouting that out. Antonis Caro my leg. Oh man, sometimes I hit it, sometimes I don't. Caramallegos. Hey guys, I always trust your opinion for a 5-year investment. Which one would you prefer? CrowdStrike, Fastly, Twilio, or all of them?
Yeah, the latter. You could buy all of those, and I think you'll be just fine.
Yeah, hit your bets for sure. I meant to say when you were looking at the chart of Fastly, everybody's jumping on. Man, we were talking about that. Remember when it dropped? It was like below $85, and we're like, it's at a stupid price.
Yeah,
I know it's hard to buy something when you see this huge red candle and whatever, but like you see a common theme. What did somebody said about what was the move? You just said the move's been made. We were just talking about it. Something just was up 5%.
I don't know.
It wasn't rad, but we were talking about another one. Like we're talking about these stocks. Yeah, they could go down a little bit more, but we're trying to find stocks that have like low downside but high upside.
Yeah.
So yeah, they could go down a little bit. Rocket could go down a little bit, but the move up is going to be far greater. So it's not easy buying a stock when you see a huge red candle and it's red on the day. But if you feel confident in it, if you feel confident in your due diligence, as long as you got time, it should work out for you. Yeah,
and I mean, I think it's crazy that people are more inclined to buy something that goes absolutely off the wall, something that's up 30, 40%. People are way happier to buy something like that than something that's down just 10%, which blows my mind. And it's difficult to put myself back into the mind of when I first started, but I don't know if I ever really recall looking to buy something that was up 100% or 50%. And so, looking for stuff that's gotten beaten down is really kind of like where you want to look. And that's why I went to some of the other stuff like Penn National today. Like Penn didn't have any reason for it sell off over the last couple of days, other than what some football players got the Rona. Like that's stupid, So looking for reasons why there's a sell off and determining whether or not it's actually warranted is going to be, a huge key to your success for sure.
John Carlo, I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask him anyway. John Carlo Scalia. Can you please speak on IBM? It's a hot topic in my circle. I'm not sure what circles you're traveling, but
yeah, you need a new circle. God damn it! What the hell?
you need a new circle. Hey guys, should we get a stock that's like really consistent and great growth and like whatever? Nah, let's find a $3 stock we can invest in.
Well, I mean, IBM is 123.49 right now, but it's going up to
IBN.
Oh, IBN.
Yeah,
not IBM.
ICC Bank.
Oh yeah, you definitely need a new circle of friends. I don't know what's up with this. Crazy gap ups all over the place. I don't know. I couldn't touch this thing. I mean, it's gone straight up basically over the last 5 days. It looks like I wouldn't touch this. It's probably being heavily manipulated, and I no.
Now, here's the thing, John, and pay attention because we're your circle too.
Yeah.
Your friends are gambling. That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
Could it pop? Sure. Banks are not something that we're really looking at right now because there's just a lot of downside to it. And so like anything else, stimulus will help out any stock. Any one of these could pop, but they're a gamble, they're a risk. I'd rather invest in something that's more consistent, more reliable, and that I can count on. So yeah, they may win here or there, but over the long term, no doubt in my mind, you win, and they're going to end up broke with their accounts closed.
So the market's selling off big time right now. Everything just went red.
All right. Well, we need our people to do some searching, figure out
I'm
if
doing
anything's
some
going
searching
on.
too. Yeah, the market just went red just right now. Nasdaq, everything was green during our chat here. What's up?
Here we go. Trump says White House is going to stop negotiating stimulus until after the election.
Oh shit! Are you kidding me? Yes, this is going to tank the market. It's going lower, guys. I'm not taking that to heart. I'm taking that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I would agree.
Don't let this spook you out of the market, folks. Because, I mean, how many times have we seen this with the China talks? Remember when Chinese trade talks were all over the place before the Rona kind of hit? And it was like every tweet that Trump made, it was, oh, well, let's just sell. And then he made another tweet, and then it was just, okay, well, let's just buy. So I'm just gonna take that with a grain of salt. And yeah. So I wouldn't be too worried about it.
I would say, see, it's going to be tough watching these stocks go red. I would say, see how this plays out. Don't be one of these people that's jumping out right away right now, because of course it's going to move down a little bit. I would see how the next hour plays out, and then you may want to look for opportunities to scale out, keep some money in, but to try to create liquidity. So if you have good, to take some profits on certain things, because it will come back.
Yep.
I will probably look for opportunities to scale out, but unfortunately, an hour before market close, I think we may have a little bit of a push up at the beginning of the day tomorrow, but I would imagine tomorrow's going to be a red day as well. If this is it, if there's nothing beyond him saying till the election.
Right. Yeah. That would be crazy. It would only help both parties, I think, if they actually put something through. But yeah, it looks like everything's kind of selling off right now.
Yeah, and this is a good point. Like, yes, have cash on hand. And this is the stimulus is really, really nice. But whenever we feel like this is settled down, and then the market has just essentially absorbed the impact of this, that will then be when it stabilizes, and then it can get back to normal. So hopefully, so yes, this could be a great buying opportunity, especially if you have cash.
Yep.
I would still wait for this to settle out. Like maybe the end of day Friday would be a good opportunity to get some stuff on real discount at sell off. But I would imagine that when the 13th comes with Apple, with Amazon Prime, we're going to see the next couple months, the second half of October, great earnings. I think we're going to forget about this day. And if you can capitalize on it, I think it's going to pay off when those earnings come through for companies like Amazon, Apple coming through. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah. Jesus, it's really tanking now. SPY's down to 336. So yeah, I mean, I would agree. I mean, the thing of it is it's probably good that we're live right now, to kind of see this happen, so that we can kind of, make sure that you guys have a level head about this, because I mean, everything's selling off right now, and the last thing that you want to do is be worried about any of it, because there's nothing that you can do as far as that's concerned. But what you can do is just kind of keep your own emotions in check and make sure that, you're not just going to make rash decisions based off of, what one tweet said. You just never know. And I mean, I would hate to see people just selling here and only for it to just go right back up tomorrow because there was some other positive news somewhere else. So just be careful with that. But yeah, this is looking pretty rough. That's a big ass red candle on the SPY right now.
So my account was about down a quarter when we started this
Yeah.
on the day.
Yeah.
Now it's down 1.74%. It's down like $700. I am going to sell. I'm going to sell Domino's, and I'm going to sell Nvidia that are still green on the day. Domino's still should be fine. I just want to explain this to people. I'm selling it because I want to have some cash. It's already green. I was only playing it for tomorrow. I was going to sell it at the end of the day tomorrow. So I don't know if it's going to be the same run tomorrow. I doubt it will be. So that's why I'm getting out. I could use that cash. If it runs tomorrow, great. But I'm doing that. And then I'm actually going to sell my Nvidia, which has had a nice little run. And I'm just going to hold that just to get a little bit of cash because I'm not as liquid as I was earlier in this week. So I know people were asking us if we ever trade live. And I'm gonna consider trading or selling Palantir. So I just actually sold Domino's, and I'm gonna sell Nvidia right now.
Yeah, I'm not touching anything. I don't have any reason to really touch anything at this point. But I do have some cash on hand that I'll probably end up using later on in the week if things start to look a little worse. But I gotta say that this is kind of confusing for me too. Like if I was a presidential candidate or nominee, I don't know if I would be just telling everybody that right before I was about to be elected, potentially, guess what? We're not doing stimulus.
Man, as much as I hate to say it, I think this is just a political move. Like I
think so too.
I think it's just kind of like a negotiating strategy. I can't believe Trump's smart enough to know that like he can't wait till afterwards. So I'm not worried about it. I still think the stimulus will go through before the election. I don't think that's going to be, I'm not real worried about that. So we'll wait to hear more news, but it's anybody's guess.
Yeah.
So
right. Blade Runner, he actually tweeted about it.
Oh,
so,
well, yeah.
I'm looking at the tweet right now.
So that even more should make you feel okay. So this is opportunity. If you got cash, see what we hear overnight, and then tomorrow may be a good opportunity for you guys or today. But everybody in here, we talk about swing trading.
Yep.
We're not, we day trade here and there, but it's very rare. Everything we give you is about swing trading. So we're not too concerned if the market's moving in unison. Yeah, it sucks to lose or to be red, but at least we can point to what it is.
Yeah.
If everything was green and then you dropped red, then that would be a little bit worrisome.
Right. One thing that I think is also encouraging is that we've been doing this well. The market's been doing this well without stimulus. So that's one thing that I will say. Not to say that we don't need it, but yeah, I think there's just a lot of posturing from both sides of things. And I think this is just a blip in the radar, not something that I would be too overly concerned about.
Somebody asked, Blade Runner, CNBC posted it. But yeah, it was just off of their tweet. Hadi Shakur, why is everything tanking? So Trump tweeted that he's calling off the stimulus negotiations until after the election. So he tweeted that. I do think this is, I think he probably could be trolling, but
probably could be.
Not a bad. I mean, negotiation wise, not bad. Okay. Snookeroo, at least he could let us do this. Let us know before he pisses off my cornflakes. That's what that means, but it sounds good. Primetime DJs, Brad, can you please explain this in detail? Investors are selling their position. Are investors selling their positions and waiting for news to jump back in, or are these big firms selling off?
It's probably a little bit of everything. Really, yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of everything. There's not really much more to go into as far as explanation is concerned, but it's probably just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and what matters is your response. Control your emotions, people. That's and this is time. And Brad, definitely give me your thoughts on this. I think this is time to lean into the stocks you're most confident in.
Yes.
Maybe not so much spec right now, but when you're confident, kind of trim the fat a little bit and focus on those big stocks that will be fine and will weather this storm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, KC Sears, welcome to the Chaos Crew. Happy to have you. If you guys are interested in joining the Chaos Crew and want to be a part of that, This is something that we do every day within the Chaos Crew, where we put out a list, a watch list, and answer questions and all that good stuff before the market opens. So if you want a good snapshot of the market, what might be moving that day, come join the Chaos Crew. You also get access to all of my trades as well, or my trading portfolio, as well as other private live streams that go on with the Chaos Crew. So Casey, happy to have you. If any of you guys are interested in joining it, come on over.
We'll have a couple more questions. So Mark Peach, what's up? What do you both think about Bud? Oh, Bud as a recovery stock, BUD. That's Anheuser-Busch, I believe, right?
Let me double check.
I think it's Anheuser-Busch. Went down a bit, but went back up today. I think it'll jump when everything opens up again.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is. I mean, we talked about this all the time as far as what Sam Adams has been doing, what even Pepsi's been doing as far as the alcohol side of things are concerned. And I think I would agree. I think that this definitely could be one to buy the dip on. Look at it come back down to maybe about 56.50, or maybe even try to fill the gap at around 55.50, and could be a good one leading into recovery for sure.
So this is interesting, Mark, because I had like a month or two back, I was like, all right, I got to find a stock in the beer alcohol space that I want to promote or push for you guys and put on the watch list. I ended up looking at Anheuser-Busch. I didn't. We talked more about Brown-Forman, Diageo, and Sam Adams. Let me tell you about Bud and why I didn't choose it, but why I still am fine with it. I think Bud is a great long-term opportunity. So Anheuser-Busch will be fine. The problem with it, and thus the reason why I didn't put it on the watch list, is they're not responding as well as Sam Adams. So they weren't pivoting as well. One other company didn't. We had the same problem. Like Nike didn't pivot as well initially,
right?
And so that might not be the best example, but like it didn't pivot well, and so they didn't have as great of margins. And talk about sort of trimming fat, like they had a lot of fat on them. So that has hurt them, but that's created a buying opportunity. So I won't put that as this on the watch list as something to buy because it's not moving the way it needs to. And I don't think the move's going to happen soon, but if you have a long-term time horizon, I think this is a really good stock to pick up. So thanks for bringing it up. Long-term, this thing is a buy. And when I say that, I think the next 3 to 6 months, you should be rewarded for this thing.
Yep.
Stitch Fix. Don't sleep on Stitch Fix. We'll see $33 range soon. Whatever. What do you think about Stitch Fix?
I mean, we've talked about Stitch Fix. It's one that I like. And I think that 2021 is going to be a good year for them. But sitting at 28.18, it's actually recovered quite nicely since their poor earnings. $33, maybe it could happen.
Marcel Wirtz, best one to buy now out of Rocket, Tesla, and Penn.
Whoa, that's a really tough one. Rocket, Tesla, and Penn. I'm going to go with Penn. I think they have the most upside. Not to say that the other two don't, because you're kind of putting me in a corner. I like all three of them, but I'd probably go with Penn.
Yeah.
Mr. DeSoto, welcome to the Chaos Crew, my man. Happy to have you, bro.
Happy Yoga. Would you guys still buy Southwest today, even though it's already run up a bit? What do you think it could hit when the stimulus comes? Well, you wrote that before this news came out.
Before the news came out.
But yeah, I would buy.
Yeah, so Southwest, look for it to come down to like $35, $36. I would say $35.82 seems to be the absolute bottom for Southwest. If it somehow retests those low $36 numbers, I would definitely start scooping some up.
Murtaza Hussein, what do you guys think about IDT Corporation?
IDT. I wouldn't be chasing this. F that. Here's the thing. This is another one. Like, we don't chase boners around here. Remember? There's boners all over this thing. I wouldn't be chasing it.
So it looks like it's a holding company focused on telecom and payment industries. So
which is great. But like,
telecom platforms.
No way I would be touching this all the way up here. It's moved over 100% in the last couple of days.
So we've gotten a lot of like that $10 range stock. I think we just got to do the video on stocks for $10 for people.
Yeah.
They really want that $10 stock.
I know.
Okay. My clean energy. Okay. Finally bought some Rocket. Nice.
Yeah. Rocket
Mark
looks like
said,
it's
finally bought some Rocket. Wanted this thing so I can fire up Christian with my frustration when it's down.
That's hilarious.
Justin R. Nike. Do you think it's too high to get in?
Let's look at it. I mean, everything's not too high at this point. Just about. Yeah. So I'd look at Nike. Maybe it's starting to come down to retest perhaps this 127 area. If it continues to break, look for it around 123.50.
Sean Sedera, still waiting for FANG stocks to start their crazy run again. I suspect a potential dip if people become impatient with them.
You just got it. God damn. Yeah, everything's rolling.
Majid Mukhtari, thanks for the donation. $3. Majid, thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Tesla's back down near 400. Is that right?
Sure is.
What's a good spot to pick up Tesla? What was it? 380 was the other support?
400. 400 is the support now for Tesla. I really kind of want to grab some. But I'm going to wait to see if this actually retests 400. But yeah, this looks like something that I kind of want.
So there was two more. Let me just get this. Oh, Jeff Chow, I saw your comment, Brad, about not being concerned about the potential antitrust policies on the big tech.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain a little bit more as to why you're not concerned?
Because they'll take care of it. I mean, they always do. There's always concern about security issues, and it always gets taken care of. Nobody in the tech industry is saying we don't give a fuck. You know, they're like Zoom. Everybody lost their mind when Zoom had some issues as far as security is concerned. There's always going to be concerns for security, which is why we like CrowdStrike, right? Or Palo Alto or whatever. But the thing of it is that like there's always going to be concern. And so I'm not worried about how that's going to impact the value of any of those stocks.
The Cullen Porter, I have a position in Palantir just above $10. Should I take the loss and put my money into a better stock, or should I hold long term and hope it goes up?
So say that again.
So Cullen has a position in Palantir.
Oh yeah,
and the entry is right above $10. PLTR.
Okay.
Should I take the loss and put the money into a better stock, or just hold long term and hope it goes up?
I think holding on to this, it was already well on its way to getting back up over 10. I think holding on to it's probably worth it, but you just got to ask yourself, how long are you willing to wait? You know, it may take a little bit. So if you're willing to give it a little bit more time, I think it'll be worth it to you in the end. But, just give it some time, see what happens. I think it's
hopefully
got some upside.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I think it's got a lot of upside.
Hopefully you, we talk about scaling in, scale strategy. So, to be clear, like if you have cash on hand anyways, if you feel confident about a stock, stay in that stock. I know I said I was selling, but I want liquidity. I don't have liquidity right now. And I was green on it. So with that being said, Brad, I think that if you're scaling in, if you got in at 10, I hope you're scaling in. If you're scaling in, if it goes lower, this is a great opportunity for you to dollar cost average.
Yep.
So this could be a good one. We got another. Majid, I guess you didn't give us enough. We got another donation. Thank you. That. Appreciate it.
I'll take that. Hey, all DJ's in the house.
Last question. Yes, it did drop while we were live. We've been live since 2. You're late.
Some good timing.
You guys made me rich, made profit from Vic Short.
Nice.
Good job, Colin. So last question, is Cloudera worth the hold? Or should I sell it? He's down 13%.
Down 13%. Sitting at 1079. I think that
Yes, dead league.
it's yeah, I think this is probably worth holding on to. I liked Cloudera for a while, and if you have other money, to spend anywhere else, and you have other liquidity, and you don't need the position that you have in Cloudera, then I would say just let it sit. I think you'll be just fine. But you just have to ask yourself and I don't know what your financial situation is. If you have other free cash that you can spend on other stuff, I would just let it sit, and I think you'd be all right.
Yeah, so son of a, here's the thing. Dead league, what's your question? I'll answer it. I'll ask it as the official last one. But here's the thing. Looks like things are settling down a little bit. Again, I don't think anybody needs to freak out. Anything that happens tomorrow, I think, is just going to be on like the news and how they portray it and how analysts portray it. But it's okay. Like, I feel like this, my comment's going to come back to bite me. Like, again, if you feel confident about the positions you're in, if you have cash, you should be happy about this. This should be an opportunity to dollar cost average down. So look for those opportunities. Red zone day, baby.
Yeah.
So I don't think we knew that we were all getting hyped because we thought that the stimulus was going to go through. It is what it is. We've been operating without the stimulus. We've been kind of leveled out. It was just that excitement and the hype built up. Again, we'll be fine.
Yep.
Dead league. Thanks, guys. Oh, thoughts on CLSK?
So Clean Spark is just another one. If I was getting into, I don't know, with everything going on right now, the last thing I want to be is in something that's speculative. And I'm not saying that Clean Spark can't go and do good things, and I think that they will long term. So if you have the patience for it, then sure. But short term, especially with the news we just got just now and how volatile things are going to get into the election, the last thing I want to be in is something that's really speculative, and CLSK falls into that category. So I would just, if you're not in already, probably stay away until it settles out and actually looks like a reasonable level to buy it. But it's all over the place right now. So I'll just give it some time.
Yeah, for sure. Boogaloo Brown, appreciate you. And that's one of my new favorite names. So
we just lost you.
Yeah, sorry. That's one of my new favorite wrestler names. Boogaloo Brown is definitely a wrestler name.
That is a damn good wrestler name.
Don't forget about the private live streams every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, just for the Chaos Crew. And also, just to throw those out there to you guys, because I know a lot of you guys are asking questions multiple times. I want to get away from that. Go to stockwatchsunday.com/members. If you have a question that you absolutely need us to answer, put it in there, and I will make sure that gets on to our live streams. So as we keep growing, that's, I want to be cognizant of that, but I also want you all to get your questions answered. So anytime you need an answer, we can answer by email, or we can answer it live if we think it's pertinent to everybody. stockwatchsunday.com/members. Appreciate you guys.
And that's going to do it for today. Guys, we thank you so much for hanging out. We love all of you guys. Everybody who supported this channel, we couldn't be here without you. And thanks for the likes. Thanks for the donates. Thanks for the 2 new members who showed up into the Chaos Crew. We love all of you guys. If you could hit a thumbs up on the way out just to kind of show us some more love, we certainly would appreciate that as well. And from Fat Man Zoom and I, have a green day, and we'll see you on Thursday. Have a good one. Bye.